Many of you might remember the story of Terrill Thomas, who died under the watch of David Clark in Milwaukee. He is a Black man that had mental illness. And, that's been an ongoing problem in America. You got too many people in law enforcement that have no clue on how to recognize a person with mental illness opposed to someone that's a criminal. But, we have seen their inadequate works all the way up until this time. So I'm not surprised. David Clark is no different. But let's talk about David Clark for a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, David Clark should not have a powerful voice against the community at all if we were on top of what these coons do. The fact that he was able to have the voice that he did, we failed as a community. We really did. We cannot let the coon lift up their voice against the Black community and thrive. We have not stopped these people from thriving off of our pain. And David Clark should have been shut down the moment he emerged in mainstream media. It took way too long to bring this man down. It really did. And the damage is done. You have David Clark existing because, see, these are the kind of Black people that white supremacists seek out. And then they will prop them up in their media because they are talking against other Black people. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, it should never be tolerated, not even for a second. The moment these people emerge and get propped up, we are the ones that need to tear the David Clarks of the world down. It's bad enough we're in this toxic situation that we're in. We don't need one of our own going out publicly against us. It should be unacceptable to all of us. Don't ever let the coon be comfortable. Because if you let them be comfortable, they're going to continue to raise their voice against us. If we were on top of our game, we would have been all over David Clark to the point where he would have to run from social media. This story is disgusting. And this evil was done by this Black man called David Clark. So we have Terrill Thomas that died in a cell. The guards cut off his water supply. And for 6 days, Terrill Thomas begged for water. The other inmates could hear him while he was incarcerated, begging for water before his death, over and over, begging them to please give him some water. What an inhumane thing to do to a human being. David Clark ran a concentration camp, y'all. That's what he did. He didn't even want to acknowledge the human rights of an inmate like Terrill Thomas. So he's one of many that died under the watch of David Clark. And there'll be more lawsuits. This man left a trail of destruction when he finally left. See, David Clark thought he had a future in the Trump administration, and we know John Kelly shut that down very quickly. So his life has not turned out the way he thought it would. His career certainly haven't. We can see his career did not turn out that way. So how horrible is that? $6.7 million went to the family, but the amount of pain and suffering that Terrill Thomas went through is really hard to comprehend. And tons of this is captured on video. I mean, what did they do? Did they get off on this man just begging for just a little bit of water? So they're saying the amount of the pain and suffering that Terrill Thomas went through was tremendous. And that I think would be recognized as any person who took any time to listen to the facts in this case. So the lawsuit, of course, was filed against Clark and everything that took place at the jail. And, you know, they sanctioned Clark as the one that made the decision to cut off the water supply of those who were incarcerated. Now, how evil is that? How evil. But like I said, this is the kind of black man the white supremacists love, one that will harm and even kill their own. That's David Clark. And as far as I'm concerned, David Clark is a murderer. He is a murderer. Any of these people that died on his watch, and he deliberately told them to cut the water supply off, this man is a murderer. Okay, so a lawsuit filed following the incident accused Clark of knowingly sanctioned the decision to cut off the water supply of those who were incarcerated. What happened to Terrill Thomas was a form of torture. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Okay, so this is what one of the attorneys said. He was a mentally ill man who needed help. Instead, he was deprived of life-sustaining nourishment, water. This is the sort of atrocity that should never happen in an American jail. Okay? He didn't deserve to be there. Like many black men and women and even children that are incarcerated in America. There's no excuse for it, and I agree with that. There is no excuse for what David Clark did and had his staff do. David Clark, in my opinion, should be jailed, and he is unfit to be in law enforcement. And this just proves that these evil people in law enforcement can get others to go along with it. All of those prison guards that took part in shutting that water off, they need to be jailed, along with David Clark. David Clark don't deserve any other position in law enforcement. He should be jailed. Please tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.